Why do some follow those who harm others, lie, and spread injustice? This is a big mystery that affects not just one country, but the whole world. People praise leaders who are unfair, obey them blindly, and sometimes even defend their wrong actions. But why does this happen? This topic is very important because it touches our hearts, our minds, and our faith. In Islam, leadership is a great responsibility, and those in charge are supposed to guide people with justice, kindness, and truth. But when leaders become corrupt, why do so many still follow them? Is it love, fear, ignorance, or something else? In this video, we will explore the deep reasons behind this strange behavior. We will learn how to recognize true leadership and avoid falling into the trap of worshiping the wrong people. Our goal is to open our eyes, strengthen our faith, and become wiser in choosing who we follow. If you want to understand this mystery and grow stronger in your Islam, please like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers. 1. The reality of power and leadership in Islam. Leadership is not about fame, glory, or sitting on a golden throne. In Islam, leadership is a heavy responsibility, a trust from Allah. But today, many people forget this truth. They are attracted to power like moths to a flame, not knowing that this flame can burn their soul. People look at leaders as if they are flawless, unbreakable, and godlike. They forget that in Islam, the highest leader is the most humble servant of the people. Real leadership is not about how loud you speak or how much you own. It is about justice, fear of Allah, and service to the people. Sadly, many corrupt leaders turn power into pride. They walk on the earth as if they are untouchable. They make decisions not for the good of their people, but for their own benefit. And even worse, many people support them, praise them, and treat them like divine heroes. But Islam has never accepted such a form of leadership. From the time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, leadership was a sacred duty. The Prophet himself lived in simplicity, served others, and was never arrogant. This is the kind of leadership Islam teaches us. Leadership that fears Allah first. Leadership that cries at night in prayer and seeks forgiveness for any wrong decision. Leadership that speaks the truth even when it is unpopular. Unfortunately, today's world has flipped this upside down. People worship corrupt leaders who show no mercy, speak lies, and enjoy the suffering of others. They sit in palaces while their people starve. And those same people, instead of standing for justice, chant their names in the streets. This is not Islamic. This is a disaster. Power is a test. Leadership is a trial. And if someone uses it for evil, both they and those who follow them will be questioned. So let us not be blind followers. Let us open our hearts and eyes. Let us follow those who walk in the footsteps of the Prophet, not those who walk with arrogance and lies. We must educate ourselves, build strong faith, and stay connected to the Quran and Sunnah. That is how we protect ourselves from false leaders. Remember, the greatest leader is the one who serves, not the one who rules. And in the eyes of Allah, the one who stands for justice, even if he has no title, is more beloved than a king who spreads corruption. Let us not chase power. Let us chase piety. 2. The love of power and worldly status. The desire for power and high status in this world is one of the most dangerous diseases of the heart. It blinds the eyes, hardens the heart, and poisons the soul. Many people fall into this trap, not realizing how far it can take them away from Allah. The love of status is not just about having a big house or a fancy car. It is the deep desire to be seen, praised, obeyed, and honored, even if it means stepping on others to get there. This desire leads people to do anything for recognition. And it is this love of power that gives life to corrupt leaders and allows them to be worshipped like idols. Corrupt leaders feed on people's obsession with status. They show the world a false image of success, big offices, long convoys, expensive clothes, and powerful speeches. They look like they have everything, And this image captures the hearts of weak-minded people. People start thinking, if I follow this leader, maybe I'll also get success. Maybe I'll become important too. And just like that, hearts are captured. Not by truth, but by dunya. But in Islam, we are taught again and again that real success has nothing to do with this world. Real success is closeness to Allah. Real success is entering Jannah. And real honor comes only from Allah, not from positions or titles. Sadly, many people worship corrupt leaders because they believe those leaders can raise their own status. They think that by supporting them, they will also become special. This is how the disease spreads. It becomes a chain of pride, ego, and blind following. And the worst part? This desire doesn't stop. The more someone loves power, the more it controls them. It becomes an addiction. They are never satisfied. Even if they have everything, they want more. This is the evil of worldly love. It promises happiness, but delivers destruction. We must train our hearts to love what Allah loves, not what the world shows us. We must teach our children that true greatness is not in being followed, but in being righteous. If we want to be respected, we must first respect ourselves by obeying Allah. And if we want to be truly powerful, we must submit to the one who owns all power, Allah, the Almighty. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that whoever humbles himself for the sake of Allah, Allah will raise him. And whoever chases fame and status, Allah will bring him down. We should not be impressed by the glitter of this world. Instead, we should be inspired by the people who live simply, speak the truth, and stand for justice. They may not have titles, but they have honor in the eyes of Allah. Let us not fall in love with dunya. Let us not be fooled by the appearance of power. And let us never support someone just because they seem successful. Ask yourself, does this person remind me of Allah? Do they fear Allah? Do they care for the weak and speak the truth? If not, then no matter how rich or powerful they are not worth following. Our hearts belong to Allah. Our loyalty is to truth. And our goal is not worldly status. It is eternal peace in Jannah. That is the path of the believer. 3. Worship through words and obedience. Worship is not always about bowing down in prayer or making sujood. Sometimes worship takes the shape of our words, our loyalty, and our obedience. In Islam, true worship belongs only to Allah. But when we praise someone beyond limits, obey them blindly, and place them above truth and justice, we slowly turn them into idols. Yes, even without statues or shrines, we can fall into a hidden kind of shirk by giving someone the type of love and obedience that should be given only to Allah. In today's world, many people unknowingly worship corrupt leaders through their words. They praise them in songs, write poems about them, hang their pictures everywhere, and defend their actions no matter how wrong they are. If someone criticizes the leader, these followers get angry, not because truth is attacked, but because their idol is being questioned. This blind praise and loyalty is dangerous. It turns a human being into a godlike figure. And when we start giving that kind of honor to anyone besides Allah, we are stepping into a dark path. Obedience is even more dangerous. People obey corrupt leaders, even when those leaders lie, oppress, and spread evil. They follow their every order, not caring whether it goes against Islam. But Allah has made it clear. We are not allowed to obey anyone in disobedience to Him. Not a ruler, not a politician, not even our parents, no one. If someone tells you to go against Allah's commands, you must say no. Your loyalty is first and always to Allah. This is how people of the past went astray. The people of Pharaoh praised him as their God. They obeyed him even when he killed babies and mocked the truth. And what happened? Allah destroyed him, and those who followed him blindly. That is a powerful lesson for us. If we speak words of worship for someone who does not deserve it, and if we obey them in evil, we are sharing in their sin. Every word of false praise, every act of blind obedience will be questioned by Allah. So let us cleanse our hearts and tongues. Let our words be for Allah, and our obedience be to Him alone. Let us stop singing praises of those who are unjust. Let us stop defending people just because they are powerful or famous. Let us stop worshiping through loyalty that belongs only to Allah. Instead, let us live with honor, speak with courage, and obey the one who never does wrong, our Creator, Allah. Remember, real worship is more than rituals. It's in who you defend, who you obey, and who you praise. Make sure your heart is with Allah. Make sure your words honor only the truth. And make sure your obedience never goes against the path of Islam. 4. Fear and pressure. Sometimes people don't worship corrupt leaders out of love or admiration. They do it out of fear. They are scared. Scared of being punished, scared of being rejected by society, scared of losing their jobs, scared of being alone. And that fear becomes so strong that they start to obey every order, repeat every lie, and follow every command, even if it goes against what they know is right. This is not loyalty. This is fear turned into false worship. Fear is a powerful emotion. It can control people. It can silence truth. It can make the strongest person bend and the most honest person lie. Corrupt leaders know this very well. That's why they use fear as a tool. They make people afraid of questioning them. They make people feel small. They say, if you don't support me, you're against your country. If you speak the truth, you'll be punished. If you stand up, you'll lose everything. And slowly, fear becomes a prison. A person stops thinking. They stop asking. They just follow. But Islam teaches us something very different. We are told to fear no one but Allah. Not because we want to live dangerously, but because true courage is in standing for the truth. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, lived in a time when the powerful were corrupt, the leaders were idol worshippers, and the rich controlled everything. But he didn't stay silent. He stood up, he spoke out, and he faced the pressure. Why? Because he feared Allah more than he feared anyone else. And that is what made him the greatest leader in history. If you obey someone out of fear, if you support a lie because you're pressured, then you are not living with dignity. You are not living with faith. Allah created you to be brave. Allah gave you a voice to speak truth. He gave you eyes to see what is wrong. So why be silent when you see injustice? Why support someone who spreads corruption? Why give in to pressure when you know your soul is crying inside? No leader, no army, no government can harm you unless Allah wills. No amount of pressure can break you unless you let it. The real question is, who do you want to please? People who will forget you, or Allah who created you, loves you, and rewards you forever? The answer should be clear. We need to raise a generation that doesn't fear false authority. We need to teach our children that pressure is not a reason to lose your values. We need to build courage in our hearts, because the world is full of noise, lies, and manipulation. But the truth stands tall, even if only a few hold it up. Don't let fear change your worship. Don't let pressure turn you into a follower of falsehood. Be among those who worship Allah openly, fearlessly, and with full submission. Your job is not to please the world. Your job is to carry the truth with dignity. And remember, the greatest men and women in Islamic history, prophets, scholars, reformers, they all faced pressure. They all faced fear. But they chose Allah, and Allah honored them in both worlds. 5. Blind following and ignorance. One of the saddest reasons people worship corrupt leaders is because of blind following and ignorance. They do not ask questions. They do not think. They do not reflect. They just follow whatever they see others doing. If everyone praises the leader, they do too. If everyone supports the ruler, they do the same. Not because they believe it is right, but because they don't know anything else. They have never searched for the truth. Corrupt leaders love ignorant followers because they don't ask questions. They don't demand justice. They don't challenge lies. But Islam teaches the opposite. It teaches us to stand up, speak out, and never accept falsehood, no matter how normal it becomes. So if you see people around you blindly following someone, stop and think. Are you following truth or just a crowd? Are you supporting justice or just repeating what others say? Are you using your mind or just copying those before you? Don't be another number in a blind crowd. Be a believer who walks with knowledge. Open the Quran, learn your faith, study the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Understand what true leadership looks like. Then you will not be fooled by false promises and fake words. You will know that real leaders serve people, not use them. Real leaders fear Allah, not just chase power. Ignorance is darkness, but knowledge is light. And when you walk in the light of truth, you will never worship the wrong people again. 6. The danger of praising oppressors. There is a great danger in praising those who oppress others. In Islam, it is not just wrong to be an oppressor. It is also wrong to support, admire, or praise someone who causes harm to others. When we speak good about someone who spreads injustice, we give them more power. We make their evil seem acceptable. We make people believe that they are doing something good. This is how corruption grows, when the wrong people are celebrated and the right people are silenced. Sometimes people think, I am not doing anything wrong. I'm just saying good things about my leader. But what if that leader is harming the poor? What if he is stealing wealth? What if he is spreading lies and making people suffer? Then your words become a part of that evil. Your praise becomes a support for oppression. Your silence becomes approval of injustice. Islam warns us strongly about this. Our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, never praised oppressors. He never smiled at tyrants. He never stood with those who harmed others. Instead, he warned us not to be fooled by their power or wealth. He told us that supporting oppression in any way, even with words, is a sin that can bring Allah's punishment. When people praise corrupt leaders, it encourages them to continue. They feel powerful. They believe they can do whatever they want. They stop fearing Allah. But when people speak the truth, when they call out injustice, it shakes their power. It reminds them that they are not above the law of Allah. That is why speaking the truth is a powerful act of worship. And remaining silent or praising evil is a dangerous form of betrayal. Look around the world today. How many leaders are called great just because they built tall buildings or wore expensive clothes? How many are praised for their speeches while their people starve in silence? How many are treated like kings while they rule with cruelty and pride? And how many Muslims join in this false praise, thinking it is harmless? So ask yourself, have I ever praised someone who hurt others? Have I ever admired a leader just because of his fame or money? Have I ignored the cries of the weak to stay on the good side of the powerful? If yes, then it's time to stop. It's time to stand for justice. Because on the day of judgment, your words will be brought forward, your silence will be questioned, and your loyalty will be tested. Allah does not want you to follow the crowd. He wants you to follow the truth. Even if you are alone, even if you are afraid, even if it costs you friends, jobs, or praise from others. Because when you support the right path, Allah supports you, and that is the greatest strength a believer can have. Let your words be a shield for the oppressed. Let your praise be for those who live with honesty and fear Allah. And let your heart never incline toward those who spread darkness. Thank you for watching this important discussion on why people worship corrupt leaders. Remember, true strength comes from following Allah's guidance and standing for justice, even when it's hard. Don't let yourself be trapped by power or false praise. Use your mind, your heart, and your faith to choose the right path. If you found this video helpful and meaningful, please like, comment, and subscribe to Deen Xplorers. Your support helps us share more knowledge and inspire others to walk in the light of truth. May Allah guide us all to be wise and strong believers. Until next time, stay firm in your deen and keep exploring the beautiful teachings of Islam.